Looking for quick and delicious holiday appetizers? Let's dive into the world of cheesy spinach cups, a delightful treat that's sure to impress your guests. This recipe is a real holiday hero. It's simple, scrumptious, and can be prepared ahead of time, leaving you more moments to enjoy the festive cheer. Imagine the rich creaminess of cheese, the earthy goodness of spinach, all nestled in a crispy golden puff pastry. Intrigued? Stay tuned to learn how to make these tasty crowd pleasers. First things first, gather all your ingredients. We'll start with spinach, the star of our dish, which brings that lovely green color and a hefty dose of nutrients. Next up is cheese, a blend of mozzarella and cheddar. Because what's a cheesy spinach cup without the cheese? It provides that gooey, melty goodness we all love. Puff pastry is our next key player, forming the base of our cups. It's light, flaky, and oh so buttery. Then we have garlic and onion, the flavor backbone of any good savory dish. They'll lend our filling a depth of flavor that's simply irresistible. To bring it all together, we'll need milk, which gives our filling a creamy, luxurious texture. Butter adds a touch of richness, while salt and pepper season everything to perfection. Got everything? Great. Now onto the fun part, cooking. Now, let's start by preparing our spinach filling. First up, we'll spark up the stove and get our pan nice and hot. Into this, we'll drop a dollop of butter. As it melts and sizzles, it's going to form the flavorful base for our filling. Next, we'll toss in finely chopped onions and minced garlic. The aroma of sautéing onions and garlic is one of the great delights in the culinary world, isn't it? We'll stir them around until they're lightly browned and softened, their flavors beautifully melding together. Once our onions and garlic are cooked to perfection, it's time to introduce the star of our show, the spinach. We'll add fresh, washed spinach leaves to the pan. Now, it might look like a mountain of spinach at first, but don't worry. As we cook it down, it will wilt and reduce in volume significantly. We'll keep stirring, ensuring every leaf gets its fair share of heat. When our spinach has wilted down to a fraction of its former self, we'll pour in some milk. The milk will deglaze the pan, lifting all those delicious bits stuck at the bottom and infuse our filling with an extra layer of flavor. Now, for the piece de resistance, cheese. We'll sprinkle in a good amount of grated cheese, stirring it through the spinach. As the cheese melts, it wraps itself around the spinach, transforming our filling into a creamy, dreamy delight. Finally, we'll season our filling. A pinch of salt and a good grinding of black pepper will do the trick. We'll give everything a good stir, ensuring all the flavors are well distributed. As we cook, the cheese will melt completely, and our spinach filling will turn into a creamy, luscious mixture. The vibrant green of the spinach, speckled with the golden cheese, is truly a sight to behold. But it's not just about looks. The combination of flavors here is simply divine. And there you have it, a creamy, cheesy spinach filling that's packed with flavor. While our spinach filling is cooling, we can prepare our puff pastry cups. The process is simple, yet the result is a delightfully flaky and buttery vessel for our cheesy spinach filling. We start with a sheet of puff pastry. Puff pastry is a wonderful ingredient. It's light, it's flaky, and it's incredibly versatile. You can find it in the freezer section of most grocery stores. Once defrosted, it's ready to use in a myriad of dishes, just like our cheesy spinach cups. First, we're going to cut the puff pastry into squares. Use a sharp knife or a pizza cutter to slice the pastry. The size of the squares will depend on the size of your muffin tin. You want the squares to be large enough to line each muffin cup, with a little overhang for those perfectly puffed edges. After cutting, gently press each puff pastry square into the cups of a muffin tin. It's like you're tucking them in for a short nap in the oven. Make sure the pastry is snug against the sides and the bottom of the tin. Don't worry if it's not perfect. The beauty of puff pastry is in its rustic charm. Now, we're ready to bake. Preheat your oven to a temperature that will allow the puff pastry to puff and become golden brown. This is usually around 375 degrees Fahrenheit, but check the packaging of your puff pastry to be sure. Pop the muffin tin into the oven and let the magic happen. It usually takes about 10 to 15 minutes, but keep a watchful eye. You want the puff pastry to puff up and turn a gorgeous golden brown color. Once they've achieved this, take them out and let them cool. The result? Crispy, flaky puff pastry cups, ready to cradle our spinach filling. The contrast between the buttery puff pastry and the creamy, cheesy spinach is a match made in food heaven. Look at those golden brown puff pastry cups, ready to be filled with our delicious spinach mixture. Now it's time to assemble our cheesy spinach cups. Let's start by preheating the oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. This ensures that our cheesy spinach cups bake evenly and to perfection. Once the oven is all set, let's get down to business. Take each puff pastry cup, which you've carefully crafted in the previous step, and fill it generously with the spinach mixture. The mixture, rich with sautéed spinach, garlic, and cream cheese, should nestle comfortably within the folds of the puff pastry. Make sure to fill each cup to the brim, but be careful not to overfill. We want to leave a little room for the cheese topping, which is the crowning glory of our cups. An ideal filling should be generous but not overflowing, ensuring a perfect balance of flaky pastry, creamy spinach, and melted cheese. Next, it's time for the cheese. Sprinkle a generous helping of your favorite shredded cheese on top of the spinach mixture in each cup. You can use a blend of mozzarella and cheddar for a nice balance of flavor and melt, or experiment with your favorite varieties. The cheese should cover the spinach mixture completely, creating a mouth-watering layer that will melt into a golden, bubbly topping in the oven. Now let's pop these beauties in the preheated oven. Bake for about 20 minutes or until the cheese is melted and bubbly, and the puff pastry is beautifully golden. The aroma of baking cheese and pastry will soon fill your kitchen, a tantalizing promise of the delicious treat to come. As you pull out your tray of cheesy spinach cups from the oven, you'll see the result of your hard work and patience. A tray full of golden, bubbling cups, each filled with creamy, cheesy spinach. Let them cool for a few minutes before serving, as this will allow the cheese to set slightly, making the cups easier to handle. And there you have it, cheesy spinach cups that are sure to impress your guests. And that's how you make cheesy spinach cups, a quick and delicious holiday appetizer. We've gathered our ingredients, prepared the fresh spinach filling, baked our puff pastry cups till they're golden and crispy, and finally, assembled our cheesy spinach cups to perfection. Now it's your turn to this recipe. Share the result with your loved ones and let us know how it turned out. Thanks for watching. Remember, the key to a great holiday appetizer is simplicity and flavor. And these cheesy spinach cups have both. Don't forget to subscribe for more how-tos. Happy cooking!